Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is
specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at betsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Saturdays were made for polka. Tune in to the Polka Jammer Network starting at 6 a.m. and Polka Hall of Famer Billy Bellina, Breakfast at BB at 8:30.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSAB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
808.5.
And a half. Got to do the half, Jay. You got to have that half. That half really matters. I'm not sure why. When did we start that? Way back at Westfield.
That's really
At
OG.
Westfield State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way back then, you used to time it. How many years ago were we there?
We've been here since 18.
Oh, my Lord. So I've been here that long? Oh, my goodness. I'm growing old. And
Well, 10 years for the community radio aspect.
Wow. I'm growing old in front of Westfield. Oh, that's kind of frightening.
I would say growing up.
I'm never doing that, Peter. I tried that. As I used to say to my kids in school, I tried being serious a few years ago. It didn't work real well. Oh, good morning.
You were a young hot MILF when we started.
For Christ's sakes.
Oh, we are making no comment. I'm surprised Jay hasn't said something yet. Go for it, Jay. You're just waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting for an opening. Good morning, everyone. Oh, wait, Ken, I forgot. What are we doing here?
I have no clue.
Okay. Good morning.
I've never done this before.
You're new on this? Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, you know, there's a guy that was here before you, Ken somebody or other. He was really good. He knew his stuff.
You know what
You sure about that?
You know what we haven't done in like ages?
What haven't we done in ages? Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, don't eat my baby.
And now it's time for therapy with Bob Plass.
There's no one here. I don't know what to do. All right, okay. All right, I'm coming. Hang on. I'll get this. Okay. Oh, good morning, Ken. How are you? It's so nice to see you.
I haven't seen my therapist in half a year and I'm freaking out.
Oh, well, I'd love to be able to help you, but Bob isn't available right now. I believe he's sleeping in this morning.
Where is that SOB? He owes me money.
Oh, dear, that is a problem. Well, I can take your name and number and your email, and I can have him contact you.
He hasn't returned my calls.
Well, your business is very important to us, Ken. We will certainly take care of you as soon as we can. Would you leave your information, and we will get back to you?
This has been a recording.
You know, that's about as good a corporate response as I've ever heard from someone since I retired.
Well, I'm very good at corporate responses, sir. How may I help you? Representative!
When
And how may we help you? Your call is important. Please stay tuned. Your waiting time is 3 days, 4 hours, and 27 minutes and 30 seconds. Thank you. Please stay tuned.
If you like automated recordings on the telephone, raise your hand, please.
We all do. Try calling the IRS.
when we're done with our conversation, would you mind taking a short survey?
We certainly shall.
You know, I've got to defend the IRS for a minute. No, it's
please.
Wait, no, let me take
And
that
next
back.
it's going to be TSA.
I was going to say,
And then the motor vehicle.
government. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I meant government.
All of them, they train in the
Social
same spot.
Security. I went down to the Social Security office in Springfield and was actually, after I got through security, I was actually treated well.
They treat you very well. It's the answers that I don't get.
No, she was perfect. Told me what I needed to do, helped me fill out the forms, and then in 90 days I started to get stuff to happen.
But the thing is, you got the answers.
I did. Yeah, and they were actually helpful. I shouldn't say I was surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, my answer when I went there was, yes, Mrs. Palmer, your point is correct. I agree with you, but the government does what it wants. That was pretty much my answer, because we got into a quagmire. I was still teaching and was always on the on the insurance policy with the department, with the city of Westfield. And for 1,000 years that we were married, my husband was also on the thing, and he was self-employed with the dairy, didn't have the amount of employees that required him to carry his own insurance, so obviously he was on mine. But here comes the sticky wicket. He retired at 65. Come to find out, they said he should have claimed Medicare at 62.
Really?
Because of the insurance. And I said, but I was still employed. He was still under my insurance, so he was still covered. No, he should have claimed at 62 because he did not have insurance where he was employed. And therefore, because we're married, I have to then give up my city insurance and go on Medicare. Now, I was never covered under Medicare because I was grandfathered through. So those 3 years that I should have also been on Medicare, I now pay a 30% penalty forever and ever and ever because we did not file when he was 62.
Because the government does what it
And
wants.
yes,
Are you better off getting a divorce?
and that's what he told me. Never mind. Cancel that.
Careful, he was looking for a way out.
No, I'm just saying.
And you're right, Peter. You're absolutely right. And here's what they said. And I talked to GIC,
Absolutely correct.
which is the
100%.
government insurance for Massachusetts. I went back and forth with them, and they said, yes, Mrs. Palmer, you are absolutely correct. I went to Social Security in Springfield. Yes, Mrs. Palmer, you are correct. He did have insurance. He was legally covered under you, but the government does what it wants. So for the rest of my life, I can pay a penalty.
By the way, the government's going to do what it wants again. Question 5 on our ballot this year. Question 5 is to bring the commercial, the gig workers like waiters or waitresses, up to $15 an hour. Now, I'm reading the waiters and waitresses that are saying no. They're voting no on this because it's going to screw up their tips because nobody's going to tip anymore.
Well, nobody should tip. End of story. Nobody should tip.
But they say they're making more money than if they would get paid $15
Sure they do,
an hour.
Absolutely, because some of their tips are under the table. They don't.
No.
Well, I have a personal thing with tips, and I've always I tip, and I tip well because my daughter was a waitress.
So do I.
So I tip well.
But I'm not going to tip anymore
However-
if they go to $15 an hour because,
And you won't have to.
yeah, you will.
No, you won't.
They're still going to expect tips.
You don't have to. No one's forcing you to do it. You can walk out. You may never get served there again, but you can walk out. I went to here's
See,
the
I think
story,
it's just wrong.
and I want to see how
Government's trying to fix something that's not broken.
The state of
other-
Nevada has had,
Nevada. I love it.
You spend way too much time.
I know,
Yes.
doesn't he?
that's how you say it, Nevada.
No, that's how you say it.
That's not how I say it. That's how
Nevada.
you say it.
Nevada.
Nevada?
It's like Ronald Reagan became Ronald Reagan. Okay, go for it. Who are you? Oh, you're Ken. This is your show.
Wait staff make the same wages as every other worker in the state of Nevada, and they get the tips on top of that. So it's not unheard of
Good for them.
for someone waitressing at Denny's to make $45,000 or $50,000 a year.
And if a politician is campaigning in Nevada,
Nevada.
Nevada,
Nevada.
out west, then what they're going to do is they're going to tell them, I'm not going to tax your tips. Which doesn't mean much because, as you said, a lot of those tips don't get taxed anyway.
They don't. New Zealand doesn't tip. New Zealand is horrendously expensive, but they don't tip. There's no tipping.
That's why they're horrendously
Yeah.
expensive, though.
It's-
Yeah,
Because
everybody suffers the same.
well, but that means we're going to have a $30 hamburger. That's all that means because
Okay,
the restaurant.
but here's
In
my...
New Zealand, they do have $30
But the restaurant
hamburgers.
margins,
do.
the restaurant margins are. The people think that these small restaurants and even chains are making tons and tons of money, and they're not. They're not.
I would need to see that on record.
But New Zealand, you have to pay
Look at a
somebody to chase down all those kangaroos to make those burgers.
It's not kangaroos. It's Angus cows. They have big cows. But let me
That's
ask you this.
Australia.
All right, guys, this really happened, and I want your opinion. Maybe. Anyway, you never know what you
Welcome to the Kathy Show.
I went to.
It's about time we got good.
I went to a restaurant. Okay, it was a regular restaurant. It's a restaurant I go. I know the people, and I was picking up an order, and the order was $17. And I gave the cashier $20, and this cashier said, "Do you want your change?" Now, what do you think?
Damn straight, Skippy, give it to me.
This person didn't make the meal. This person didn't serve the meal. This person didn't wait on me other than to take my $20. Should I then be tipping?
No.
If I place my
No.
food order standing up, I'm not tipping.
Takeout, you don't tip.
And that's what I thought.
Delivery,
Peter.
I
agree
do
with
tip
you.
because they're providing a
Delivery,
service.
I do. Yes, delivery, I do.
They're providing that's part of what I replied to in the Facebook post for Aaron Fay, who's the lead singer of Max Tone, but he's been working up in the restaurant service industry to support,
Because musicians don't make any money.
correct. He makes some money, but not
Yeah,
enough really. So
They don't either.
I said, you're going to get where I don't tip. People are expecting a tip irregardless of whatever service or pay rate they get. No, there's a commercial out there that's lampooning that right now, where the guy does he's doing push-ups or bench press, and the guy spotting him puts a iPad over his
Oh,
shoulder, saying
great job, buddy. Would you mind taking a look at this for a second?
right, and I'm like, no, sorry, no, I'm not tipping for takeout. I'm not,
I also,
because that's actually their highest profit margin is takeout, because there's no labor involved in service.
I also wonder about, there's this rule in, and again, I don't mean to offend anybody at all, but it will. But then, what the heck? When you do a service like your nails or massage or hair done, and they say at Christmas you're supposed to tip equal to one visit. Well, you can spend $100 at a hair salon.
I would never tip $100.
You've tipped them all year long anyway.
Right. Nope.
So why? And again, I'm not maligning anyone. That isn't it. But if I'm getting my nails done and I'm tipping the salon, why would I? I'm not their friend. I'm their client.
Here's your tip for the day.
You're like my husband. He has a pocket full of those. And then he tells me, "Can I borrow a $5 bill?"
Are they real?
Yes.
But you're right. They're no good because you go into the store with them and nobody
Dunkin'
can change
Donuts
them.
doesn't
No,
want them.
No.
So he'll borrow the money from me. Oh, you're.
Did I tell you the story about tipping on the island of where did I go? What's up north?
They can't stand up?
The Great White North?
Yeah,
Eh?
no, the one that's off on the way to Europe. Why
Iceland?
can't I think
Greenland,
of this? Iceland.
Finland,
I can't think of it. Iceland. Tipping on Iceland is unique because the best restaurants are the gas stations. You go into the gas stations and they get little takeout places in the gas stations.
Okay.
All right, and it's the best food.
I don't know.
on
I
the island.
had issues with gas station sushi once before.
Yeah, we've heard that
No,
story.
that's
that was
different.
not pleasant.
That's different. No, that's different. No, you go down to you go. That's where we ate most of the time is at the nearest gas station. Okay, so we did this a few times and realized, well, number one, it is the best food on the island, but it's not because it's the best food. It's because everywhere else isn't so good. So,
Dear.
but it is. On the island, people will tell you, you want the best food? Go to the gas stations. The gas station food is the best. So we're on an excursion. It happens to be a snowmobile tour on glaciers above the volcanoes, which was kind of cool. And remember back around 2010, one of the volcanoes erupted, and they had to shut down the airspace.
I do.
That's the volcano we were
good.
snowmobiling on.
Not
So-
like the one that people got killed with.
no. This one.
So happy you didn't fall in.
No, we
That's
didn't
New
fall. in.
Zealand.
Yeah.
So we were looking for crevasses. So
What asses?
never mind. So
Don't go there, Jim.
we
Just
get
let it
done
go.
with that, and we're all down, and we're all getting changed and out of our big warm gear that we were in, and we're being offered hot chocolate and coffee, and they were very nice to us and everything. And one of the kids that was serving us there, he's like 20 something, whatever, and he'd been doing this now for 7 or 8 years, taking care of tourists coming out and going snowmobiling. I mean, we had some fun, and we're talking about what has he ever been off the island? No. Where would he like to go? Well, I'd love to come to the United States. Oh, well, any particular place? Yeah, I want to go to Texas because they have the best gas station food. And that's where we got into the conversation.
That's
and what's the
funny.
big chain in Texas? Bubba's or something like that? I can't remember. Yeah, there's
Peter, do you know?
What? Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. That's the one. Buc-ee's. He said.
Buc-ee's is an
Peter,
experience.
why would you know that?
We love Buc-ee's.
He said.
We go an hour out of our way if we're near a Buc-ee's when we're down south.
See, they know.
Buc-ee's is like 96 gas pumps and basically a Walmart that's just like snacks, travel stuff. It's got a store like Cracker Barrel with gifts and stuff like that.
They've got
And
barbecue. They've got a patisserie. I
you
mean,
can get roasted
That's funny.
almonds and stuff.
So
and-
the cleanest bathrooms on the highway. Too,
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
20-something years old, and the kid's life story is to get off the island and go to Buc-ee's.
Go to Buc-ee's.
So
I'll remember that. If I ever have a bucket list, that's going to be
you want to
on
go
it.
to Buc-ee's.
That's going to be on it. Buckets.
Yeah.
Buc-ee's. Did you want to take control of this conversation?
Oh, heck no. Don't let him do that.
Oh, we're half over. We might as well, Jay.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has a newspaper.
An article from
You
the
know
Fort
what?
Worth Star-Telegram. Tips: Are Americans greedy or is service worse?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
You won't let this go, will you?
Tipping used to be based on service excellence. If a waiter was prompt, attentive, and polite, that person earned a 20% tip. Now, large
What
parties
happened to 10?
at more expensive restaurants will
Where
find
are
that
you?
a 20% tip has automatically been added to their check regardless of service.
Ew. I see. So we're paying their wait staff
Even if they do a poor job.
routinely.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, what do you say?
What was that again? I was just.
Yeah,
I got an urgent
Spacing.
message.
the 18 to 20% auto gratuity for groups larger than what, 4 or 5?
Lately, it's been 8, but I
Okay.
see that happening because people, the economy's getting tight, so people don't tip as much. Mm-hmm. And also,
But
for
should
one
it be
server,
required? I think he's asking. Do
one server, any party over 6 is a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. So that's usually if we have a big party, even if somebody else is paying, I usually throw into the tip for that too. That's good practice.
But you know
should it
what's
be
annoying?
mandatory? 8, yeah. If you're one server doing 8, that's
Yeah,
a lot of
when
work.
Pete and I are traveling, I usually he likes to pay on his card to get points, so I give him money for that. But then I have cash that we leave on the table for the tip.
But have you ever been with a group, and I have, and this is so annoying, and I didn't say anything, and next time I will, when everybody throws in the tip money, and then somebody has to count the tip money, and they go, oh, this is too much, and they start taking money back out.
Yeah,
have
it
you
drives
seen
me
that?
nuts. I says, look.
I put in $10 because I wanted to put in $10. I don't care if my meal was $5. I put in 10.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Exactly.
Why? It's not their
Right.
money.
Yep.
Why are they taking
Well,
it out? And
here's the
I've
thing:
seen them do
when
it.
I know I'm with somebody in the group that does that, I leave extra on purpose.
So what do you say when people do that?
It's okay. They
It's
they
so
earned
rude.
it. Yeah, they earned it. What are you going to do with the extra money? Well, I got coffee I can get tomorrow. Not you.
But if it wasn't their tip money that they put in,
That's
extra,
right.
They have
Well,
the right
that's
to take it.
if I'm giving my own tip over and above, if somebody else is like picking up the tab or whatever, I put it under a plate or something
That's a really good idea.
to hide it.
That's a good.
Fold it up really small.
Well, no, that's
No,
a
you
good
fold it
idea
up-
because they're not going to take it from
Even
your.
better, as you're heading out the
Correct.
door, find them and hand it to them.
That's even better. Yes.
So that 100.
But
you
in a
just
busy-
said, you can hand it to me when you leave.
There was no 100.
That's
But
what
in
my
a busy
husband said.
restaurant, that's tough.
Recently, a viral TikTok and YouTube video showed a driver delivering $400 worth of food. When she realizes she isn't getting tipped, she says she'll keep the food that the customer ordered. Reactions online were mixed, but many people commented that the driver is already getting paid by the app to deliver food, and a tip would have been a bonus,
Stop it,
not
Jay.
an expectation.
Okay.
Oh, I just looked up at the monitor. He
I missed.
fixed it. You're in frame now.
He moved himself out, and then he kept moving himself out.
So it should have been a bonus and not an expectation, and that's the way I grew up. You know, it was a bonus, not an expectation.
So let's fast forward to something different.
No, because I have one more topic, or one more item to go with this.
What
topic.
happened to the Kathy show?
So, there's other, stats in here, like, 43% of Americans always tip when using a taxi or Uber.
I thought you were supposed to tip on a taxi or Uber. I always have.
You know what? Several years ago, Uber and Lyft, it wasn't an option. But now, once your ride is complete and you rate the driver, you get an option.
One last comment on that. There's a restaurant in town that will not be named, but you go up and you order and you go down. Okay, I want that sandwich. Make it, and then they pass it down. And there's 3 or 4 people that put stuff on the sandwich. Gets to the end, and they flip the little iPad around and and say, okay, what tip do you want to put on here? Who am I tipping?
Right. That's what we were talking about. Takeout.
Yes.
So if it's takeout,
Yeah,
no.
if I'm standing up when I place my order, I'm not tipping.
No, and I think that's a good. In my mind, that's a fair.
Or if I'm walking
fair
in to pick up
position.
my order, I'm not.
Yeah. So and you're right.
That's interesting. And that happens more often than not, Jay, when people will ask you, do you want your change? I resent that question. I really do. It just...
Taxis, I always put in a few dollars because they see that amount before they help get your stuff out of the trunk and onto the sidewalk.
a few dollars. A few dollars.
A few dollars.
Under the seat, so that the guy cleaning out the taxi
Oh, it's
after.
under the seat?
Yes, yeah, the guy.
I'll know where to look.
Who was the guy in Taxi that?
Fred, Jim Mignahowski?
No, the guy that fixed the
Latka Grabov.
Latka, yeah.
Yeah,
So that
Andy
that's his
Kaufman.
tip. That's his tip.
So I was watching some travel vlogs on YouTube the other day, and I do this a lot when I'm getting to the season where I'm going away, especially now that I'm doing a cruise itinerary instead of anything
The
else.
problem with you going away, Ken, is you always come back.
Yeah, isn't that a bummer? Doesn't that just suck?
The ghosts would miss him.
Just waiting for one of those Max 8s to come down with me in it, right?
Oh no, I wouldn't wish that on you.
I'd probably survive in a paralyzed state and be even more miserable.
So your travelogue story.
Yeah. So I actually came across a tip the other day, and it makes sense, and I'm going to do it.
But I thought you didn't like tips. Sorry.
It's a different type of tip.
Squirrel, shiny things, sprinkles. Focus, Jay. Focus.
Wait, chocolate or rainbow?
Rainbow. There's
Okay,
never enough
absolutely.
Sprinkles or Jimmy's?
Jimmy's, that's a Boston thing. Jimmy's, they have Jimmy's in Boston.
Boston.
See, now, I thought
Boston.
I'm under the understanding that Jimmy's are just the chocolate ones, though.
Well, all right, chocolate Jimmy's.
The chocolate sprinkles
know
are
that.
Jimmy's,
Yeah,
and the rainbow ones are rainbow sprinkles.
right. Mr. Softy, if you got a Mr. Softy, which was the original on over the road soft ice cream guy, that was the ice cream truck that was, and those guys.
We're not
had
talking about that
Jimmy's.
shop. Yep. All right.
Okay. Next.
All right.
Keep going.
Yeah. Jimmy's.
Jimmy's. I know.
Yeah.
I know what Jimmy's are.
Yeah.
When I was little and I had polio and here's the polio story again for the poor little child. Look at me. Anyway, we would go to it's an apartment building now, but we'd go to the YWCA in West Springfield for therapy with Art Peters, and they had a Sunday shop across the street, and I always wanted the Jimmy's on Sunday. Always, but they don't call them that anymore.
Sprinkles.
Do they? Sprinkles. All
Yeah,
right.
what water fountain or bubbler?
Water fountain. No, fountain. Fountain.
Fountain.
Drink of water.
And oh my gosh, we had one downtown, right where Ray Ray's is. There was a public water fountain there. It was made out of like marble or something. And we used to drink out of that all the time.
Everybody did.
I still drink out of my garden hose.
Well, that's different.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
But the fountain,
Still here.
you're under the impression that it's fresh water coming out of the fountain, and it's just kind of recycled
Oh, you're talking about that type
through
of
a
fountain.
filter.
It was
Yeah,
a water
not like the little bubbler thing over at Women's Temperance Park.
It was like that. It was a little
Oh,
bubbler.
okay.
It was a bubbler, and I think
Just don't put your mouth on it when you drink.
That was
That's
in
what I was
school.
taught when I
Yeah,
was-
that was in school. That was a big
Yeah,
deal.
don't put your mouth on it.
the fountain.
mouth on it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even think they have water fountains like that anymore.
No, they got the
have
ones you
fountains to
stick
fill
the-
your water bottle.
Yeah, you stick the thing in and you can fill it up, right? Yeah, they got one right outside the hallway here.
Yes, and they're refrigerated now.
Yes, so yeah, I mean we get spoiled.
All right, Ken, tourist, go for it.
But wait, there's more.
He's trying very hard.
We haven't gotten to the monologue yet.
It's kind of fun.
No, I don't have one.
It's kind of
Oh,
fun
you
to
put it
take
on your
this away
rundown.
from them, isn't it?
Oh, that's a generic rundown. That's just so you have something.
I was looking forward to a monologue.
You know what? Once I get through my travel, when I get to my travel stages, I'll have plenty to write about.
I know.
I
and
feel gypped.
Do you take notes when you're you're doing these things, or is it like just stuck in your head?
I've watched him work. He's stuck in his head.
He never forgets.
Yeah, I email
I watched him-
I email myself highlights.
I've watched him writing in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, literally have the notebook right on my lap and
Oh, that's not writing. That's typing.
Still writing.
Okay.
Making content.
What did I say?
I don't write anyway, I print. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah, yes, it's just as bad as him.
God, I
I'm sitting
can't
here
wait to get over this next half hour because next hour we're going to be reviewing old styles of food and lunches that we really don't see anymore.
Oh,
And
interesting.
that it's going to be. I think it's going to be fun. I think you're going to enjoy that.
School lunches? Do they still have?
It was a good day when you got that rectangle piece of pizza when you were in
Yes,
school.
and wait, and the peanut butter bread that had the dark bread and the
Wait,
white
it was
bread.
wheat on one side and white on the other, and you only got half of it,
I'm
half
not quite
triangle.
sure it was even wheat.
And it was just barely a smear of peanut butter on there.
old
And the
bread.
reason why we
Schmear.
got that
Schmear.
a little schmear of peanut butter, and the reason why they did that back then, and we got it with every single darn lunch in school. That's how they got us more protein on the cheap.
It was the protein, yeah. Remember the tuna fish sailboats with the piece of
Cheese.
that orange
Oh my God.
rubbery cheese in it?
That government cheese was the best cheese in the world to make grilled cheeses out of.
Was
That.
it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do they still have fish sticks?
You know, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to ask people because that was Fish Stick Fridays was my favorite. I don't know why, but it was because I used to load them up with tartar sauce anyway. Can I have some extra tartar sauce, please?
And
Honestly, I did
that
like
peanut
it.
butter bread, it was the best to dredge it up in that the spaghetti sauce that came with the raviolis.
Spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, remember
Chef-
that?
was it
Tasted
Chef
like
Boyardee?
Franco-American or Chef
Yeah,
Boyardee?
because that wasn't really tomato sauce. It really smelled a little bit.
It came out of a 5-gallon can.
Yeah. Well, I used to freak out when I saw the big. It was a spaghetti sauce. The first time I saw it was the big cauldron, and she's in with the big wooden spoon, and stirring this thing up.
Which is brew, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
And the milk that had been sitting out for 2 hours.
Chocolate.
That wouldn't bother me.
No, in my day they didn't have the chocolate.
Oh, that was a treat. We could get
is
chocolate milk.
Anyway, it's drink. It's chocolate drink.
Yeah. Well, by the time I got to high
Chocolate
school,
drink
Jay,
like
Jay,
What?
Yoo-hoo?
we don't have chocolate cows, okay?
brown cows. That's what comes from brown cows. You didn't.
How now, brown cow?
Yeah.
Come on, they always told us brown eggs are local eggs and local eggs are fresh.
And you know what? Oh, Peter, I forgot to tell you this. The eggs in New Zealand, and they're good, but they taste different.
Yeah, you told me that.
They do, because they have different kinds of chickens.
They probably have different kinds of feed too.
What kind of chickens do they have?
I don't know, but they're
Kiwi
they're-
chickens.
They're yellowy. It's yellowy, and the yolks are very orangey.
Well, if they're kiwi chickens, they should be green.
Well, if you get a local egg around here, the yolk is really orangey.
Yeah, we get local eggs from one of the farms up the road, and they're always different colors.
Yeah.
They're blue. They're brown.
Oh, I'm talking about the
they're
yolk
white.
on the inside. They're always big and bright orange.
Yep, they're different. You're right. Okay, so you were going to tell us something.
Oh, this tip. You see how I kept our
Yes.
our listenership tied in?
You see how he did that?
Because it's a really good tip. Follow me for more tips.
That's why he's the
Follow
host.
Ken. All right. Good morning,
That's why it's the
everyone.
Ken Show.
Presenting Ken's tips.
Yeah, well, I was watching you earlier in the first 2 hours how Facebook you're losing time on. It's become a time suck.
My Facebook?
Just
Oh, we were talking about getting lost in Facebook.
getting lost.
This is when you retire and you start looking for things to do. All of a sudden, 2 hours will go by, and you go, "Whoa, that was a waste of time."
It's called an addiction.
It's kind of like watching this show. But
Ouch!
just saying.
Mic drop.
So it's the same way with me with YouTube documentary vlogs and
Oh, I
whatnot.
do that
and I just
too.
I get lost in it. And
Yep.
I still pay attention though while I'm while I'm trolling on all these videos, tipping. And we come all the way back around now, right? And I'm gonna do this tip, this little trick that was brought up on a YouTube video regarding, say you go to a club or a restaurant or you're on the ship and you want to tip the bartender or tip somebody for a real good service, and this is a great way of having them remember you so that when you go back, you're going to get excellent service.
And that's the reason to tip.
That's one of the reasons. Years ago, when I was doing heavy gambling in Vegas, the waitress would come over to bring the free drink.
Heavy gambling? Is that when you leave gold? Just saying.
It's when I start with a heavy wallet and I end up with nothing. But the waitress.
It's called a donation.
The waitress would come over and give me my free drink, and I'd give him a $20 bill. I go, keep them coming every 15 minutes.
Yep.
And like
they're
clockwork, they're there.
And that's why you made extra donations to the facility.
Well, if I was buying those drinks outright, it'd be $15 each.
Good point.
So it's at $20 well spent.
Well spent.
But this doesn't cost much for you to do. Jesus, I'm just like one of those stupid little videos on Facebook that come up now. Stay tuned and I'll tell you how it's all done. And it takes 5 minutes to get out a 10-second point, right?
Correct. Yes, you scroll and you scroll
Yep.
and you scroll.
And I'm realizing I'm doing this now.
Spit it out, Ken.
So if you want to be remembered when you tip somebody, and it doesn't work with a large tip. If you're going to usually leave a few bucks, you order a drink or something, right? Or you're tipping somebody you see every day on a ship, even because supposedly you don't have to pay extra gratuities on a ship because that you're already charged for that.
Supposedly.
And I'm going to be going to the bank right before I head out on my trips now with $40, and I'm going to change it in to smaller bills. But I'm not going to get $1 bills. $2 bills.
Why?
Oh,
Because
wow.
that's how they remember you.
Wow, I haven't seen one of these in ages.
Exactly.
I mean, you get a $5 beer, you leave them a $2 bill, right? Maybe the next time you go up, oh, yeah, you're the guy with the $2 bill. Maybe you'll get another, an extra drink or something, right?
Give them $3.
Or they'll be pleasant to you, right? But I'm going to go down with, $40 worth of $2 bills, and I'll have
That's
them.
a cool idea. I like that.
I never thought of it before until I saw it on that video. And I'm like, that makes sense. Especially, if you're at a bar and you're doing cash, you're not carrying a tab, and you throw down a tip every time. Mm-hmm. Now somebody's leaving with 3 or 4 $2 bills.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to remember.
Right.
They're going to remember you.
Let us know. You know what you're going to like on the tour? You will appreciate this. The bartenders, they actually...
Is it a 3-hour tour?
3-hour tour. Don't get stranded. Jay won't come looking. They're...
Yeah, Marianne's there.
You're Marianne. guy?
Yeah, Marianne or Ginger.
Marianne.
Yeah, Marianne.
Marianne.
Yeah.
The bartenders do.
Lovey.
They do performances
Pass.
where they
That's a
actually
hard pass.
they actually mix different drinks and they flame them and the colors change. It's really fun to watch. I'm not a bar person, but it's fun to watch the bartenders. They are good. They are really.
Oh,
good.
you get the good bartenders? Sure.
Sort of. I'm sure Vegas is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least two of the places I routinely hang out have flair bartending.
Yeah, and
Who's
that's
the-
what they do on,
Now,
on the
did
ships.
the first time I'd ever saw that kind of a thing was the movie Cocktail, because that was a big deal, flipping the bottles
I was
and
too
all of
busy
that.
watching Tom Cruise.
At Carnival Court, where I tend to frequent, at least twice, a stay when I'm out there. They recognize me by now. They remember me. So when they,
that a
when
good
somebody sets up shots for their own little group, they'll bring one over to me. I mean, they recognize me, and I'm good to them. And
What did I start this out by saying? He's been too many days in Vegas.
but they are big
when
time
he
flair
walks in
bartending.
and they all yell, "Ken!"
And he's
Yeah,
sitting in
it's
Everyone
it's
knows
like
your name.
Cocktail on steroids. What some of these people do,
Yeah,
and
it's amazing.
it's nuts.
Yeah. Wait till you see him on the ship. You're going to appreciate it. Maybe you won't. I thought it was fun.
But I see it now, and I'm impressed. But I don't, I don't go goo goo gaga over it anymore because
But now
I've-
you're going to
I've
have
seen
a
it
pocket
so
full of
much.
$2 bills. I like that idea. I really do like that idea.
It's interesting.
That's why I brought it up, because I think it is a good idea.
Now, wait, is there a bank around here that has $2
I was
bills?
going to wonder if they still even carry a plethora of $2 bills.
Plethora.
Plethora.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he was just going to get 40 bucks worth. How much is
That's
a plethora?
There'd
Okay.
be 20 of them. That's
Okay.
a plethora.
All right.
Wouldn't you say that's a plethora?
I don't know. I mean,
didn't
how
know
many
there was a
$2 bills in one of those little wrapped wads?
I didn't know there was a requirement for plethora. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm all
Let you
looked
know.
up out, so don't ask me.
Oh, Ken's going to look up plethora.
Okay.
No,
While he's doing
right.
that, I do want to make it a point. We're coming
You have
off.
a point?
I
You
have a point.
Wait a minute.
It's a pointed head.
We
yeah,
don't
and-
make points on this show.
Yeah, we're coming off a very busy summer music season,
Correct.
and we had some great shows here in Westfield.
I'm still sore.
Yeah. Wait, we better clarify that. But this past weekend, the last show up in Worthington just happened, and that was Unchained, completely Unchained, which was a Van Halen tribute, and they were fun. They were really fun, but over the summer, we've kind of put together a heck of a team that works with me to do lighting and sound, and Ken is
Oh, you
part
do
of that.
lighting and sound?
Yeah, it's just a rumor, but Ken,
Oh,
Ken
I've heard
is on
rumors
that.
about you.
And I've got, I've got a friend who's up there, Brian Waldron, who, God, is over 40 years ago. We worked together at Xerox, and then another friend who is one of my fairly new friends, and that's Tom Leclerc. Leclerc. How would you say that in French?
Leclerc.
Leclerc. So Tom he's out of Connecticut. He's a radio guy. So not this kind of radio, but ham radio. So that's our common bond is talking about the old on-air time.
He and I bonded with engineering talk with that stuff.
We're talking the other day, and it's all about. And I had to remember all my old radio theory, all the RF theory, and I go, oh yeah. Then he came up with, because he was a repair guy. He had his license, FCC license, to repair transmitters and stuff. So he goes, yeah, the biggest problem we ever had was the golden screwdriver. I said, boy, I haven't heard that in a long time. And it's the guy that gets into his own radio and tries to fix it by turning the wrong things. So, and those were the things that he had. Anyway, between you and Brian and Tom, thank you for your work on the big shows that we've done together. And then Downtown, the Downtown concert series done by Artworks was a lot of fun. We wrapped that up on Friday with Whiskey Traveler, and
That was well attended.
it was. Yeah, and I know you've been there for most of those, Pete.
Yeah, a good number of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're a great band to work with too, sound wise. Because I wasn't there for that show, but I've worked sound with you for them before, and
Yeah.
they're easy to work with. And you like that when you're working as a stage
once you've
technician.
worked a few times with a band, you get to know what they need.
Yeah.
And I've always said is when you're on stage, you set up what sounds good to them. Then it makes it really easy to make it sound good out front. But Doug Cotton and Whip City Music was a great help for that. Yeah, and I appreciate him asking me to help him this summer. And with some luck, we'll be doing that again next year. I know Artworks is already looking forward to what their plans are for next year. Doing that in the new little pavilion was really, really fun. That's a good venue downtown. So thank you.
Bringing the not full scale concerts back downtown, but a larger.
Yeah, it's the right size. It's just big enough. We can put a couple of hundred people out there.
Compared to some of the other community stuff that we've done, Connecticut, South Hadley, it was that same kind of size.
Yeah.
That same area, and it works well.
And then the big one coming up is going to be in October, and that's going to be what Westfield on Weekends does and Pumpkin Fest, which is huge. That brings thousands of people out behind the Boys and Girls Club and the South Middle School.
I'm working that and the Farm Parade in Southwick that day.
Yeah. So Ken's been a busy boy this year. But that's going to be a big deal. We have Madison Corbello, and her new little band is going to be there. So I'm looking forward to having Madison on stage for that, fresh off the voice. And I can't tell you how much I enjoyed seeing her on that. That was fun. So we've got some great talent here in Westfield, great talent in Western Mass, but Westfield in particular. And she embodies that just right. So look that up. For those of you that don't know, Madison was on The Voice, a semifinalist.
Not once, but twice.
And she's got a lot of presence on Facebook now. I love her little ditties, promoting whatever she has coming up. So it's worth checking out. Look her up on Facebook.
Look at this; it's 8:50 already.
I was trying to use up some of your time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the food thing.
Oh! You're hanging around for that one, huh?
Well, we
It's
also
going to be
have-
fun. Yeah.
In October, it's not a it's not a performance, but we also have there is a history tour that's going to be going on, promoted by the Tri-City History Group.
Oh,
and they have 3 different locations. Westfield's location, I believe, is October 5th, and that is when they do a history tour of places in Westfield. The Dewey House would be one of them. The Cooley Drum Factory up in Granville is another that will be open that day. The old burying grounds will be open that day. The Athenaeum, and that is October 5th. We do need some volunteers to help me down in the old burying grounds, so if anyone out there would like to, the hours are 10 to 4. I think the following... It starts in September, and I'm not sure where the location is.
How can they find you to get on that list?
They can find me on Facebook. They can find me on the city website.
And you are?
The Westfield Historical Commission. I am Kathleen Pond.
Oh yeah, we never mentioned that earlier.
No, we didn't mention.
No,
any
I'm
of
just
this,
the
but I
mystery
think
voice
there
at the
might
end of the desk.
There might have
so.
been a good reason for that. We're all anonymous today, folks.
We try to avoid mentioning Ken, but
There is more information available at the Westfield Athenaeum.
Everybody who looks at the TV knows who the Motley Crew is. So
the Motley Crew.
You know what they do? I went into a couple weeks ago because I wasn't here for July because I was doing that working for a living thing that really gets in the way. But anyway, I walked into one of the pharmacies in town and someone came up to me and said, "How come you weren't on the show the other day?"
wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Well, at least you have one listener.
I have one listener.
Yeah. People are tuning in for you, not me.
No, that no.
And they only know me if they see this side of my face. So
That's
I mean,
right.
oh
They
wait,
know
I
Peter
can
is the
fix
voice
that.
from
I can
beyond.
fix that. Wait a minute. Which one is it? This one?
Number 1.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, you're just showing off your haircut. You don't look like the woolly bear.
I could have done this.
Hey, I like being Grizzly Adams. There we go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
here we
yeah, good one.
Okay, hello.
Oh, love it.
But it's fun doing this.
Did
It's
we
fun.
fix 2?
No,
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of things, and you're right.
59-25.
There are a lot of things going on in the city of Westfield, and even if you're not big into the music, there's Stanley Park. if you're a hiker or you want to bring your kids to a playground or you want to take them to the pond.
Feeding the
see
ducks
the
at
animals.
Stanley Park is still my favorite thing to do with the little kids.
Yeah, so there really is a lot to do here. There are the spray parks in the summer. There are the playgrounds on the school properties. There are things to do. If you have young kids, go to the Westfield Park and Rec site and check out some of the activities that they offer. Every season, they have new things for the kids to do. Yes, there's a fee. If you have an issue with a fee, contact Park and Rec. You never know how they'll work with you.
Right, and
It
it
doesn't
does
hurt
cost.
to try.
It costs a lot to put
Well-
on these things. So if it costs a few bucks to get yourself into it, it's worth it. It helps. Every little bit
does.
helps. It's not
It
and
does.
we don't require tips.
What's there for people like me?
Senior citizens. No.
No. Ghost
You're
tours.
not quite there yet. You're not there yet.
Ghost Tours
Not
has been postponed. That should be
Yes.
mentioned. We had Ghost Tours scheduled for the old burial grounds, and for a lot of reasons that had to be rescheduled, and it's going to be actually January 31st and February 1st at the church downtown. First church
and,
downtown.
honestly, if they just want to see the cemetery, they certainly can come on the October day when we have an open
Yes.
house. We do have Dr. Bob Brown, and I believe Dennis Picard will be available to answer any questions. They know more about Westfield than I will ever know, so they will be available at certain times. And if you want to see the old burying grounds, you can go to the Athenaeum and get the key.
Get the key to get in, yeah.
That's if you can get the right key, but we've had issues with
Potluck?
the keys. But the lock was giving us trouble. We changed it. We didn't have the right keys for it.
Oh, so that means it's not a
Got it
standard
fixed.
city gate key now, huh?
Yes, now it is.
Oh, okay.
Now it is. I was given the wrong key to begin with, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just a mistake in handing off too many things. And honestly, if there are issues with it, call Park and Rec. They're the ones in charge of the grounds. So, not me, luckily, not me. So there is a lot happening in Westfield. There truly is. And you can go to the Westfield City website. You can go to Park and Rec. Dan Nason's site, Experience Westfield, often has a lot of activities going that are listed. There's always things going downtown. There's lectures at the library. There are online lectures by Dr. Bob Brown that you can see. There are all the videos from WCPC. If you want to see a city council meeting, go on WCPC, westfieldtv.org, is it? Is that where it is? Or
WestfieldTV.org has the links to everything.
then you just go and you can see any of the council meetings. You can see the concerts that you've been working at. There's all kinds of things going on. You got to look. Nobody's going to knock on your door.
Yeah, music in the wintertime. For those of you that were looking for the chamber music events over at the Athenaeum, that's moving this year. That's going to be over at
Is it?
52 Sumner.
Oh, that's right,
They wanted to
yes.
put it. They wanted to put it in a bigger venue. They were filling up the
were.
small places
You
they
had
were
to
in.
reserve for it. Yep.
Yeah, so this allows that to grow a little bit, and that's fine. You go out to the MOSO MOSSO
Yes.
website, and you can find out more. First concerts, the concerts begin in October. I think it's October 26th. I may be wrong on that.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Heaven help me. I am now in big trouble. I didn't mention the Westfield Theater Group. Oh, because we have 3 shows coming
Save
up.
the best for last. That's all.
Well, I know. We also have the Westfield Women's Club for women looking for things to do. We have open memberships. They have all kinds of activity. They have a luncheon every month, but they have a bridge club. They have a crafts meeting that meets on Tuesday. They have a book club. They have a cooking club, which I believe they'll tell you is more interesting going out to eat than making the food, but that's okay. And if you have an activity that you think women would be interested in, by all means go down, sign up, and make a suggestion, and we'll be happy to listen.
And you don't have to be a woman if you want to go to the theater.
There are
theaters.
activities that we would really welcome men to join. I mean, if there are men that are interested in gardening or they're interested in playing bridge, they're absolutely welcome.
So you don't have to be a woman.
You don't have to be a woman.
Okay, good.
I didn't even have to refer to the amazing book of useless information to
I
full time
think we
today.
already did that for the last hour.
Yeah.
We have our own amazing program of useless information.
Now I want to see.
And we never got to any Dear Abbeys.
Do you ever? I read the
Dear
Dear Abby and I
Abby.
think there's one for Ken. There's one for Ken.
Oh, well, maybe at the end of the second hour we'll have time.
We'll have some time for the Dear Abby. Sometimes
Maybe.
you got to read them and say no, no, no.
But it's
Nobody really did that.
It's not Abigail Van Buren anymore.
No,
it's not.
no,
Who does that?
Well,
What?
the character
Like the
is still
the
Abigail
granddaughter,
Van
you know.
Buren, and
writers.
it's that's the pen name
Yeah.
that they
Okay.
held, but
Well,
it's
and it's not Ann Landers anymore. It's Ask Annie.
it was Ask Anne.
or something.
It went from Ann Landers to Anne to Annie. There's been two people since Ann Landers, but Abigail Van Buren is Pauline Phillips, I think.
I don't know, but they're twins. They were twins.
Oh no, that the Ann Lander and
yeah.
the original.
They were twins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay,
must
it's
be.
Jean Phillips. Her mother was Pauline Phillips, who they both went under the name Abigail Van Buren for Dear Abby.
Okay.
Ken, we think you should write your own advice. Oh no,
I say it as it is. I don't think people would like it.
No, don't go there.
wouldn't be printable.
No.
You know how people keep asking the same question over and over, trying to get a different answer that they like? Yeah. I'd answer a question, and they're like, oh, no.
The newspaper
Ain't it.
wouldn't give him the space he wants. You know, how many columns does it take to
It would be
Yeah,
interesting.
ask Ken how to screw in a light bulb? That's it. 3 columns worth.
yeah.
No.
Number one response, if I was one of those writers, suck it up, Buttercup.
My mother-in-law ruined my wedding. I really was at a wedding when the mother-in-law sprayed mustard on the wedding party. I really did see that.
Really?
She apparently didn't approve of the wedding for some unknown reason.
I can't imagine.
I was at a wedding where the wait staff didn't look at the little tent cards on the thing and gave people whatever they wanted, and they ran out of everything but fish for the last 3 or 4 tables.
No.
The bride had a meltdown, and I was DJing it, and it was trying to get her out of the bridal room was interesting because it was going on 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
She
And this is
barricaded
why-
herself in there.
And this is why I don't DJ weddings.
That was the last
Yeah,
wedding I DJ'd.
I
That was
gave,
it
I
for
gave
me.
up DJing weddings, 35 years ago. I'm not going to
why?
deal with it's a PETA.
It is a pain
Really?
because you're basically you're running the show. You have to keep everything on time, and you're working with the catering manager
and
to
with
make
me,
sure the whole thing
it's
doesn't
not-
melt down.
That's not the part that bothered me. It's the people.
Yeah.
Well, see, when I was doing it back in the Stone Age,
Did they have recordings?
Yeah,
in
they
those
did.
days?
It was a wire that you ran through a.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
okay.
but it was something that was a novelty to have a DJ. Before
was
me,
mostly
it was
bands.
a band.
Bands, yeah.
Bands.
So
It's always
now,
bands.
oh wow, this is a novelty, and it ended up being usually was for friends or something like that. So I knew most of the people there. That made it fun. When I started doing it for people I didn't know, the fun went away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because it's a job.
and
It's a hard job too.
And that's why I said this is over 50 years ago. I said when it stops being fun, I'm going to stop doing it.
You really have
So-
to coordinate. You have to become best friends with the banquet manager like in minutes.
Oh yeah,
because you and the banquet manager are running the show.
that's
Yeah,
right.
And
but-
you're keeping the pacing of the whole wedding going.
Yeah.
Oh, not 901 WSKB Westfield. I'm OCD, so I never had a problem with that. I actually had notebooks lined up and everything outlined, and the organization was nothing. But it's my daughter's a bride, and her favorite song is Enter Sandman by Metallica, and you better play it.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
And then you play it, and then everyone leaves.
Well,
and then I'm blamed.
And that's nothing new because it was
Yeah.
you got to play this song.
Oh, I was in the bathroom when you played my favorite song, man.
Play it again.
And I just no.
And that's
And then I went to work in the clubs, and I'd never had a problem.
Yeah. No, because all you got to do is keep the dance floor full. That's our job.
That's my job.
And and even when they'd come up to you and ask for something you knew was going to clear the dance floor, and they were adamant about it, you did it. It's that kind of thing. Well, it's that, like, and I'm giving away, if you love James Taylor, you've got to. I'm going to give away one of his routines that he does. He talks, because he does this every show. We saw him at Tanglewood this past season, and he talks. The guy's 78 years old, still going at it, still up there on stage with a full band, and a great show. And absolutely, hands down, a great show. And he's talking about his doctor was telling him, you got to slow down a little bit, And part of his routine is, he sits on a stool, but then he wants to get up and stretch.
Oh, okay.
And and he stands up.
I know where this is
and
going.
Puts the microphone up, and he moves his stool over to one side, and he does the next song that way. Well, the next time he does that routine, he's talking about, as he's doing all of this, he says, the doctor's telling me I got to slow down. I'm changing a little bit, I'm 78, and I may have a little more trouble getting up, and moving my stool. And as he gestures to the stool that he just moves, it starts rolling through, and you can imagine Tanglewood, the laughs starting to go back through the whole property, and the rest of the night. Every time he got up, moved his stool, he'd go, see, not a problem. So...
4.5 minutes after our top of the hour. Let's run our top of the hour, and after that, we're going to look at old food.
Eat this!
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer, take it all.
Eat this! Drink this! Try this! Charge it! It's fabulous!
Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank, kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard.
Eat this! Drink this! Try this! Charge it! It's fabulous!
Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Too late, voodoo consumer terminate.
Eat this! Drink this! Try this! Buy this! Wear this! Fly this! Play this! Charge it! It's fabulous!
Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. Fabulous.
Fabulous!
Fabulous.
Fabulous!
Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
And we're back. And
Oh, God.
the magic that happens during intermission here. We've figured out programming for next week. We actually, we're going to go one way if we don't go another way. So we'll be here next week.
That's just.
Yeah.
Why is that
Have you
so
been talking to
obvious?
the vice president recently?
Well,
If we don't
that'll
go
be
one
that'll
way,
be-
we're
I know
going
where
the
you're
other way.
going.
We're going the other
I
way.
know where you're going.
that'll be next week and not tomorrow, which would be the day after today. But today it's tomorrow, but tomorrow it'll be yesterday, but not yesterday, but
And
today.
If I was in New
it's
Zealand,
unburdened by
today
tomorrow.
would be Wednesday already. We'd be on Wednesday and then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Monday,
pulled that
Tuesday.
crap with you on social media.
But you said I could host next week, and this is next week.
No,
I said that last week.
But
you're
this
not
week,
around next
but
week.
this week was next week, last week.
No, but
Come on, that was classic Bugs Bunny.
and we're on our
Rabbit season.
We're on
duck
our way to
season.
Albuquerque.
Rabbit season. Duck season.
on our way to Albuquerque. That's how I learned to spell Albuquerque. Albuquerque. All right, go for it.
I
Ken.
knew I should
said
have
it
taken
wasn't.
that left turn over at Albuquerque.
And they said it wasn't educational.
Everything I know about classical music I learned from
You know what? And that's true. Mm-hmm. That's so
Killed the
true.
wabbit.
Bum, 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 bum.
Somewhere I heard a reference. Oh, they were talking about trying to revive interest in the opera with young people, and yeah, they're having a struggle doing that. And the comment that was made was, young people still the only opera they ever known is from Warner Brothers.
Right.
So
Or Walt Disney, Fantasia, and the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
well, okay, that's close.
Yeah, they had a lot of that.
All right. So, as I mentioned the previous hour, I troll YouTube watching documentaries and vlogs and blogs, whatever you want to call it. And every so often, something might come up that looks interesting. And I came across this. And I'm like, you know what? This would be really cool to talk about on air. So, Pete, if I could get the split screen with my laptop on your NDI.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you're going to show pictures of this?
Oh, no.
Curious which once popular lunches have now
video.
faded into history? Set the table.
You might wanna
with
turn
20
it up.
Delicious meals that remind us how good the old days
I don't hear it
tasted.
anywhere
And
over
remember,
here. I hear it.
Good flavors
on your
never truly
laptop.
retire. They just take a lunch break.
There you
Here
go.
we go.
Okay.
Sloppy Joes are basically ground beef, onions, and either tomato sauce or ketchup, all jazzed up with some brown sugar and maybe a dash of Worcestershire sauce. This messy delight started out in Sioux City, Iowa, back in the 1930s, whipped up by a cook named Joe. The name Sloppy Joes was actually coined due to the messiness of the sandwich, quickly becoming a humorous yet appetizing moniker. They're super tangy and a bit sweet, making them a hit with pretty much everyone who tries them. Plus, they're cheap and easy to make in big batches, perfect for feeding a crowd without breaking the bank. You'll find people tweaking them with bell peppers, garlic, or chili powder depending on where you are. They were everywhere in school cafeterias because kids loved them and they were easy to make in bulk. Back in 1958,
All right, so Sloppy Joes.
I remember Sloppy Joes. I didn't like them. I liked the filling, but I didn't like trying to eat them because the minute you'd eat them, it was all squish out.
Well, that's okay. Then you eat it with a fork. You
And so
have
then why bother?
Yeah,
with
well.
the roll.
Did anyone get Sloppy Joes when they were a kid on white
yeah.
bread?
no. It had to be a hamburger bun.
No,
Put it on bread?
yes.
Oh, wasn't it kind of soggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got cheeseburgers on bread back then, and a hot dog was in white bread.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
wrap the bread around a
Yeah.
hot dog.
Yeah.
Always.
So now, now it makes me wonder. God, that's a weird look on that. that
I have no
shot.
idea what that even is.
Yeah, Jay's disappeared. Makes me wonder, Manwich. Where did Manwich?
Manwich. That was
What
that
was
was
the
just the
Manwich?
brand
Is that
name
a
for
Sloppy Joe?
for a sloppy Joe.
Sloppy
Yeah,
Joe.
but why is it a Manwich? Does that mean that women you can have a? Did it even exist? Did a woman
I'm
witch
offended.
exist?
I'm offended. Yep, I'm offended by the title Manwich. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It should be man.
Remember, a
woman.
sandwich is a sandwich, but a
Oh,
manwich is a meal.
but if we said woman witch, it sounds like you're calling the woman a witch. So I'm offended by that too.
Rice-A-Roni.
Just kidding, folks.
Vince
The San
Domenico
Francisco
decided to
treat.
bless us with rice-a-roni, branding it as the
Rice-A-Roni.
San Francisco treat. This nifty dish combines rice and vermicelli, browned up in butter, then simmered down in a savory broth. Talk about a tasty side dish that clicked with American families. The big sell was how versatile and easy it was to make, perfect for the fast-paced lifestyle folks were leading. With a lineup of flavors like chicken, beef, and Spanish, there was something for everyone. The catchy jingle from its commercials, Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, helped cement its place in American culture. The best part? Just saute and simmer. Even though its heyday has seen a bit of a dip with the rise of health-conscious eating and more quick-prep meal options, Rice-A-Roni still stands out as a hallmark of culinary creativity from back in the day. So,
I
Does
love
that
my
still-
rice-a-roni.
Does it still exists?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
Now I got to go out and look for it.
yeah.
Because you're
You
right.
used to be able to get it at Dollar General, but they replaced it with their own brand.
The jingle. You're right. The jingle is stuck.
And of course, every game show from the 70s and 80s.
Yes,
One of the exit prizes you get a year supply of rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat.
I always thought that always blew my mind.
If that was a year's supply.
How do they know how much a year's supply is?
Yeah.
You know, do I eat it once a week, once a month, every day?
I have no idea.
No, a year's supply of Eskimo pies. Now I'd be
That
happy
we
with.
could do.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that we could do.
Yeah, I'd rather Carvel flying saucers.
Okay, we talked about that the other
Yeah,
day.
and I looked at the market the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
no,
get them.
No, and the watermelon roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see
can't
any
get
of those.
that either. Ah,
Yeah, because Friendlies went ahead and with the change in ownership, they got rid of the damn watermelon sherbet.
I loved Friendly's watermelon sherbet. I lived
Never
to,
had it.
That's
to
my
wait for
favorite.
that.
There was the watermelon roll.
No, you could get the half gallon or whatever
Yeah.
it is now of watermelon sherbet.
Yeah.
And you could get, is it sherbet or sherbet?
Sherbet.
Sherbet.
It's SHERBET.
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 Sherbet. Okay.
Sherbet.
It's like ribbit.
Shelby.
Okay. So you could get the watermelon sherbet. It was the best stuff in
It was
the world.
awesome, the best
Now,
ever.
there are two places within driving distance that you can get watermelon sherbet. And one of them is JJ's, just down Route 10 and whatever,
Down the road.
towards down the road.
Down the road.
Down the
Right.
road towards Feeding Hills.
87? Is that 87?
I think it's
There's a
87.
JJ's down the road here.
But that's not where you get it. You got to get the JJ's ice cream. You'll go down towards Feeding Hills, past 911, what used to be 911. What is it now? Autumn Mist.
Autumn Mist.
Yeah. But go down to JJ's down there. That's the best ice cream, whether you want soft serve or one of 24 flavors, but one of them is watermelon sherbet. And you can get them to pack it in a pint and take it home. But the other place is Northside Creamery, often has watermelon sherbet. And they'll pint it.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll pack it up for you too.
I happen to know somebody involved with frozen treats down in Southwick. I might have to get in their ear about this one.
His favorite, my favorite of his is his black raspberry ice cream. Mm-hmm. So good.
Oh, well, I know who you're talking.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
can
Pete knows who
and
I'm
you can
talking about.
And you can mention Joe Didi and Malicious.
Yeah. I'll have to get in his ear after the
Currently
Big E.
appearing at the 3 County Fair.
Yeah. And then the other treat that is missing from store shelves, and I am forever irked by whoever owns Good Humor now.
Oh, okay, yes, Kathy, this has come up 3 times in conversation this summer.
Toasted almonds. Toasted almond ice cream on a stick.
Never heard of it.
When I when I was a kid,
They used to have it next to the strawberry shortcake and the chocolate eclair.
Yes, you're right. That was the third one.
Yeah.
You'd get one, and they all had the little crunchies on the outside. That was great. And so, but when I was a kid, we went to Wickham Park, which was on the East Hartford Manchester line in Connecticut. They had a log cabin at the top where you could buy treats, ice cream treats, and toasted almond was what I always got. So when I had my own kids, the Good Humor Man or whoever he was, the ice cream guy, would come around, and he had toasted almonds, and I'd buy them every time they came down the street. I think I paid for his retirement, but he was. But every time he came down, and I bought the kids whatever the heck they wanted, but I got my toasted almond, and then I found out they had them in boxes at the supermarket, and I could buy boxes of these things. Not anymore.
One item I remember getting off the ice cream man's truck, the ding dong cart, was a snow cone, and I was so let down by it because it was the hardest thing ever, and you couldn't do anything about it.
But they look good.
They looked good, but it was horrible.
But now they got Louisiana snow cones now. They call them Louisiana snowballs, and there's a guy that comes down with his Louisiana snowball truck, and he's been at the Friday night concerts downtown. So look forward for this for next year, guys. The Louisiana snowballs.
And if you're craving it at home, do what I did and get the KitchenAid attachment to make
you can make your own.
to make shave ice. I have 12 different flavored syrups, and I've got the ice molds to put into the attachment.
And way too much time on his hands.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nostalgic foods. What else have we got?
We have tuna noodle casserole. Look at
Tuna
this.
noodle casserole really found its footing back when the wallet was a bit tighter for most folks.
It's coming
It's all
back.
about mixing up some canned tuna, those squiggly egg noodles, a creamy mushroom soup base, some peas, and whatever crispy stuff you've got, like crushed chips or breadcrumbs. It became a household name during those pinch penny times, serving as a cost-effective way to fill up the family table. Ads would rave about how you could whip this up in a flash. Total lifesaver for the busy families. And over time, everyone started throwing their own twist into the mix. Like in the Midwest, where they love tossing in cheddar cheese, or others jazzing it up with veggies like celery or bell peppers. Always a hit at family dinners, especially when the weather turns cold and you need something hearty. Now, beef stroganoff.
My mother made tuna noodle casserole all the time.
Yep.
I did for my kids because they ate it.
You eat what the kids will eat.
Eat what the kids will
You
eat,
make what
yeah.
the kids will eat.
I think they still have it in that tuna helper.
Tuna helper,
There's
whatever
still a
whatever
tuna
helper.
helper.
There was a whole list of
They still
different
have
helpers.
that, yeah.
Hamburger helper, and I helped.
Yeah, we used to have it on Friday when I was a kid because I was Catholic.
Cheeseburger Mac from Hamburger Helper.
You had to have fish
Yeah.
on a Friday.
Oh, speaking of hamburger helper, I've seen this with hamburger helper.
Is like a warm hug.
Beef
from the
stroganoff.
Stroganoff.
This dish hails from 19th century Russia, dreamt up by a chef who worked for the Stroganoff family. When it hit American soil, it quickly became a household favorite, particularly beloved in the 50s and 60s for its exotic yet homey vibe. It's all about those tender beef strips swimming in a creamy sour cream sauce, often jazzed up with mushrooms and onions, and served over a bed of noodles or rice. Perfect for anything from a casual family dinner to a more decked-out gathering. Although it's not as prevalent as it once was, likely due to folks leaning towards lighter meals, beef stroganoff still shows its face around the globe, tweaked here and there to suit local tastes. Chicken.
That's what I liked is you could add things to it. You make it a little bit different. Now there's a local ready-made food place here in town that does beef stroganoff. So when it's my night to cook,
And that's right around the corner from you too. That helps out.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it's down Little River Plaza. So but there's always great stuff there. And you can always put it in the fridge, and it's there ready to go.
Yeah. I make a version similar to this, but I use hamburger instead of the pieces of meat. And check this out: brown gravy envelope, right? And cream cheese.
Oh, I'll have to try that. How much cream cheese do you add? Because I do the gravy and hamburg and mushrooms and onions. So what do you put in for cream cheese?
Half a thing of it.
What is a half a thing?
Half a block, half a brick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I've
and
done
you're
something
at-
similar with pork
different.
chops.
Yeah.
Cream of mushroom soup, pork chops,
I've done that too.
caramelized onions, mushrooms.
But you ask the right question, Kathy, about how much cream cheese, because you've got half a brick. We didn't know you were talking about a brick, because I came home from Costco with a tub.
Well, they have them in tubs now, and they have the soft cream cheese and the regular cream cheese and the onion cream cheese, and then
You know how much grief I got
Jalapeno
taking
cream
bringing that
cheese.
home? What are you going to do with that cream? I'm going to put it
eat
on
it.
bagels. Lots and lots of bagels.
you probably brought home 50 bagels.
I
in the bag.
did. Yeah, how did you know?
Yeah.
Now here's something I haven't had in years, but when I was at the supermarket the other day, I happened to notice it up on the shelf.
Did you go to Fancy Bagels?
Oh, we haven't been to
Rebecca
Fancy Bagels yet.
No.
No.
I've
Do they-
driven every time I've driven by it, it's been packed.
Yeah.
So
Do they have Fancy Bagels?
Yeah, it's in Southwick. It's where Zentos used to be.
No, I mean, does Fancy Bagels have fancy bagels?
they look fancy.
And what
They
makes
look
them
fancy.
fancy?
Yeah.
I have to ask them.
Well, okay.
All right, go
So
for it. Ken.
chicken a la king. I think Dinty Moore actually
Had
makes a
that
version of this.
Vanilla King. Now there's a dish with a bit of a mystery to its name, possibly named after a hotel chef or a guy named James King. It hit the scene big time in the early 20th century across the U.S. We're talking creamy, luxurious sauce loaded with tender chicken chunks, mushrooms, pimientos, and green peppers, all ready to be spooned over rice, pasta, or bread. It was the perfect solution for turning yesterday's chicken into today's treasure, making it a regular at dinner parties and family gatherings back in the 50s and 60s. As tastes have evolved towards faster, lighter, and more varied dining options, chicken a la king isn't the staple it once was, but it still gets some love around the world, tweaked to fit local flavors and preferences.
Do you know how much generally healthier we were when we did all this cooking?
Yeah, you're right.
Did
Like
he
when
really
we have like less super processed foods. I think Robert Kennedy Jr. is right.
Did he say pimiento?
Pimientos.
That's
yeah.
what. No, that's what happens. This is the AI voice. Do you realize that's the AI voice? That's somebody typed the script in.
All right.
Read it the
I,
way
I
you
can
see
pick
it.
the AI voices now. There's like 6 of them.
Throw,
and you can
throw AI away,
Pick
man.
them out. That's one of the AI voices.
My question: What is the base sauce in that? I couldn't tell.
Well, it looked like a standard roux.
Yeah, a roux with like cream.
Yeah, it started off with butter and then they added flour.
Okay.
I don't know. I want to see
Liver
where all
and
the
onions.
flavor gets for.
That's a dish that harks back to when folks appreciated the hearty, nutrient-packed offerings from the kitchen. This classic is made from beef liver, often soaked in milk to soften its robust flavor, then fried up with onions until the liver's crispy on the edges but tender inside. Known for its high iron content, liver and onions was especially popular among older generations for its health benefits.
Well, there you
The
go.
caramelized onions add a sweet
There you
contrast
go.
that's just right. It really caught on in parts of the U.S. with big meatpacking industries, like the Midwest and Northeast, where fresh offal was easy to come by. But as tastes evolved, the dish started seeing less love, probably because today's diners often opt for lighter, less intense flavors. It's definitely not the menu staple it once was. Picture this.
So
I love liver.
I-
Fresh liver, not the liver you buy in the store. The fresh liver.
Fresh liver?
I'm a experienced diner,
True.
adventurous. I don't mind offal. I get head cheese from the deli. for crying out loud.
OFFAL,
Yeah,
folks.
offcuts.
Beef
yeah,
offal.
yeah. But the liver, that's one thing I can't get around the smell. It's like kishka.
That's what it is.
I can't
yeah.
get around the smell of it.
First time I ever had it cooked in the room with me, I go, nope. Just nope.
It's so good, but we get it.
I love
fresh,
liverwurst.
So it's different. It's
Yeah,
very different.
I like taking liverwurst and onion and some Miracle Whip and
Yep.
sandwich,
Pop
but
paste out of it.
you know,
yep.
liver and onion, can't do it.
Just nope.
Can't do it.
It was a big staple in our house. It was liver and onions and bacon.
I'll staple it to the wall, but
And it was so good. The trick is you can't, if you overcook liver, it's like eating a piece of leather. It's just, it's disgusting. But you have to cook it fast, you have to cook it hot, and you have to cook it really quickly, and that's it.
I'll take the
New
sautéed
York,
onions.
1896. The swanky Waldorf Astoria Hotel. And
Waldorf
there you have
salad.
The
What
birth
is
of the
it?
Waldorf salad. This crunchy mix of apples, celery, and walnuts all tied together with a creamy mayonnaise dressing became a hit for its refreshing simplicity and elegance. It was Oscar Cherke, the maitre d'hotel, who was credited with creating this iconic dish, which has no lettuce despite being a salad. It's the kind of dish that added a touch of class to any gathering, easy to whip up but sophisticated enough to impress. Over the years, folks have played around with the ingredients, throwing in grapes, swapping mayo for yogurt, or adding a sprinkle of chicken to bulk it up. But as culinary scenes expanded, the Waldorf salad started appearing less frequently, edged out by a parade of new salads flaunting global flavors and lighter dressings. Still, its knack for blending textures continues to influence salad trends far and wide.
I'm getting hungry.
I've never had it.
I don't think I have either, honestly.
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
I don't remember. Have you had it?
A variation of it, like he mentioned, was people. It's evolved, so I can fruit salad, but the apples, the chopped, and all kinds of vegetables in it.
I've had fruit salad.
I've had all of that stuff.
No, maybe we were eating it and didn't know.
What do you got next?
It doesn't excite me.
Green bean casserole.
My
Oh
favorite.
yes. Oh, everybody
Yes,
knows.
my
that.
favorite.
Like comfort. Invented in 1955 by Dorcas Riley
Really?
of the
That
Campbell
old?
Soup Company, this casserole was a genius way to use up pantry staples: canned green beans, cream of mushroom soup, and crispy fried onions. It quickly became a Thanksgiving must-have, celebrated for its creamy goodness and that irresistible onion crunch. Despite its fame, the casserole has seen a bit of a downturn in everyday use, outpaced by fresher, trendier side dishes. Yet, chefs and home cooks have been giving it a modern makeover, using fresh green beans or homemade mushroom sauce to elevate the classic. Some regional versions even throw in bacon or cheese, adding a bit of local flair to this beloved dish.
Everything's better with bacon.
I've never had it with bacon or cheese.
I haven't either. Well, wait. I think I've had it with cheese.
I can see it come out of the oven with big slices of cheese across the top, and bacon.
Or you
That might switch me.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I'm not a fan.
Green bean casserole with cheese, with cheddar cheese, it's really good.
Yeah,
Changes the flavor profile.
as we know it, the traditional. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know.
Broke my heart.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Love it.
Oh, I do too.
Oh,
I
anytime
do
that
too,
comes out, I'll take a big.
Yeah, it was also never a staple at Thanksgiving or Christmas at my house.
No, I don't think originally when I was a kid, I don't think it was. It popped up in our family maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 years ago.
It's when I can't make anything else that you
make
could
it.
always make and take
it was
to a
quick.
family gathering.
Yeah, it was quick.
It was the
easy.
potluck staple.
Yep. Yep.
It was always there.
And you show up and there's 4 different variations of it too.
Yeah. Well, now I know I can add cheese and bacon. Yeah.
Cheese and bacon.
Pineapple chicken is a sweet nod to the mid-20th century love affair with combining fruit and savory elements in one dish. It features juicy chunks of chicken cooked with pineapple and bell peppers, all doused in a tangy sweet sauce made from vinegar, brown sugar, and soy sauce. This fusion reflects the period's fascination with Hawaiian and Polynesian cultures, which influenced many American culinary trends. This dish was all the rage, bringing a bit of tropical flair to the dinner table with its vibrant colors and bold flavors. However, as culinary trends shifted towards more authentic and less sugary interpretations of ethnic cuisines, pineapple chicken's popularity waned. These days, the preference for subtler, more balanced flavors means dishes like this are less common, though it still pops up at family gatherings or potlucks.
So tell us what you think.
Just no. I'm getting stomach upset just looking at that.
This is number 8 on the local Chinese food menu.
Well, yeah, it's sweet and sour chicken. Only in this case, the chicken wasn't breaded and deep fried.
Right.
Yeah, sweet and sour chicken, sweet and sour pork. If you add some heat to that, you would have General Tso's.
Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, because that's the first thing I thought of. Mm-hmm. You know, sweet and sour chicken, orange chicken, some kind of chicken.
I can imagine getting a plate of that 30 years ago at Hukilau, though.
Yeah, you're probably right. I miss the Hukilau. You know, I'm going to say it right now. I miss the Hukilau.
You know, there's a pub in South Hadley near downtown.
You don't have to.
Where
It's
we
called
work.
Johnny's Tavern.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's only once or twice a year that
No, not anymore. All
When
that
did they
stuff-
change that?
There's a lot of old stuff on the menu now. I got garlic noodles from there the other day, and they were excellent.
No, it's not the food; it's the ambiance. It was the shows there, the hokey shows. We used to call it the hokey Hukilau because it was everything that you would.
They're making far more money now doing the restaurant group that they have.
I don't care whether they're making money. I miss the Hukilau.
You know, I think Atoa had enough with 35 years of dancing on that stage.
Yeah, that could be too. Yeah, I was waiting for him to go through the stage.
Atoa started when he was a kid, and I think he has 5 or 10 years on me now.
Anybody that's been up Route 1 in Linfield, Mass, will know this one.
Kowloon.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. And
Made famous by the Endelman brothers.
Yeah, that was another. And it's still open,
and
by
Howie
the way.
Carr.
Yeah, it's still
More of the
open.
Endelman brothers, and actually all the WWE wrestlers talk about the Kowloon.
Do they really?
When they went to Boston or Providence, they'd
Everybody
go-
went up to the Kowloon.
Actually, when they do
Kowloon.
Providence and then Boston, they'd all stop at the Kowloon in between when they were driving after the show, and the Kowloon would stay open for them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's
Creamed chipped beef, often fondly referred to as SOS by those who served in the military, is a simple dish of dried
I had
beef
to
and a white
edit the
sauce,
audio on this
typically
part.
spooned over toast. This dish's nickname, on a shingle, comes from its appearance and was a humorous yet endearing term used by service members. It gained fame in military settings for its straightforward, filling nature, making use of economical ingredients to feed many mouths. Despite its practical roots and comforting taste, its appeal has dwindled in civilian life, where fresher, zestier
For a
flavors are
reason.
now in vogue. The modern palate tends to favor dishes that are lower in sodium and fat, moving away from heavier cream-based comfort foods in favor of lighter, more nuanced culinary options.
If you're going to do that, you might as well get sausage gravy.
I love SOS.
Do you?
Sausage
Yes.
gravy.
My father loved it. My mom made it for him all the time. Needless to say, I ate spaghetti.
You can get it frozen. Stouffer's makes a little container of it.
For sharing.
So all you have to do is mic it and throw it over some toast and
Good. No,
I'd rather
no,
get a
no.
can of sausage gravy if I'm going to get a canned crab.
well, if I'm going to go that far, I'll put it
Yeah.
on a biscuit.
an SOS brick.
Well, I've made Hamburg gravy the same way with a Hamburg Peter instead of sausage.
Yeah, you can do that as
I'm
long
not
as you get
keen
the
on that
savory
either.
spices right. I made Italian sausage out of Hamburg or whatever I had kicking around.
Now, don't they still sell those little
Containers of this beef?
beef?
Yes.
Is that still on the market?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
You can find it near the tuna fish
People still
area
like
at the
it.
market.
I'll pass. What about you? Do you eat it, Jay?
Never have. It's kind of like liver.
Oh, come on. You and your liver. I love my liver. High in iron. It's good for you.
I might have to go to the supermarket after hearing.
The only thing
Get a
with,
package of this.
the only thing with liver is it's very high in cholesterol. It's very high fat content.
There's my reason for not
you go.
having any.
But is it HDL or?
I don't know which
Is it
one
the
it
good
is. I honestly
cholesterol or
don't
the
know if
bad
it's the good or the
cholesterol?
bad.
I still haven't figured that out yet.
I don't know either. My bad cholesterol is low. My good cholesterol is high. So I don't know what that means. Who knows?
Pimento cheese really kicked off in the early 20th century, thanks to some clever innovations in the U.S. dairy industry. It's a simple mix: grated cheddar, pimento peppers, and a dollop of mayonnaise, creating a spread that's both creamy and has a nice kick from those sweet peppers. This spread really took off in the South, where pimentos were as common as sunshine, becoming a go-to for sandwiches, celery fillers, or slathered on a burger at a backyard barbecue. The thing about pimento cheese is its adaptability. Over the years, folks have jazzed it up with jalapenos, onions, or a dash of smoked paprika, catering to all sorts of taste buds. While its star has dimmed a bit, overtaken by the surge in artisanal cheeses and spreads, it once ruled the roost at Southern gatherings, perfectly complementing the comfort food vibe.
Hey, Pete, what do I have to go out and find whenever we're on the road?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
So how come he said pimento there, but pimiento in
Because
the other one?
somebody
It's
probably
an
spelled it
AI.
wrong.
It's an AI. It doesn't always read the same thing the same way twice.
Or it's typed in wrong.
Then it's
No, it's probably spelled the same way. It just you can have the same word. I've listened to a lot of these tracks where people don't want to use their own damn voice, and so they put the AI in there, and it's the same word over and over in the script, and it's pronounced differently every single time.
well. Then AI is failing miserably.
Well, everybody's
You know what
using
doesn't
it.
fail? Pimento cheese.
Pimiento.
I don't understand why people didn't make a grilled cheese out of
What's
it.
a
I do at home.
What's a
Yeah.
pimentos taste like?
It's the little red thing inside the olive.
Yeah.
You're not
A
answering my
pimento's
question.
technically,
Nothing.
it's a pepper,
Nothing.
isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't pimento
I
a
think
pepper?
it is a pepper.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
It's a piece of pickled pepper.
It's a sweet pepper.
Only if you're Peter.
Oh,
It's Peter picked a peck. Never
Launched
mind.
in
Never mind.
1937 by Hormel Foods, Spam quickly became a staple during
Spam.
World War II thanks to its long shelf life and ease of use.
What's the
Spam
slogan?
sandwiches, which might be grilled or not, served with simple condiments like mustard or mayo, were a hit, particularly where fresh meat was scarce. In Hawaii, Spam became
Musubi.
so popular that it led to the creation of the local favorite, Spam Musubi, combining the canned meat with rice and seaweed. Over time, however, the popularity of Spam sandwiches has waned. While marketing once played up Spam's affordability and versatility, shifts towards health and quality have lessened its appeal. Despite this, Spam remains a cultural icon in places like Hawaii,
Yeah, I was
where
gonna
it
say.
stars in local dishes like Spam Musubi, showcasing its unique role in regional cuisines.
When I stay in Vegas, I usually order Hawaiian barbecue once or twice, and I always get the musubi when I'm out there.
sizzle, pork, and
Spam.
Yeah.
It's what sizzles.
Basically, musubi is a slice of spam, some rice, and it's wrapped up in the seaweed,
it's what's for dinner. Now,
and that's it.
you had me until it was wrapped in seaweed. I goes, "Ugh."
Well,
Pickled beet
that's
eggs
okay.
are a striking dish made from hard-boiled eggs pickled in a mix of beet juice, vinegar, sugar, and spices, turning them a vibrant purple. Rooted in Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, these eggs were a popular way to preserve and add a kick to the humble egg. They're memorable for their bold color and tangy taste, often popping up in diners and potlucks, especially where traditional preservation techniques were valued. But as home pickling waned and palates evolved towards fresher, more global flavors, pickled beet eggs started to fade from the mainstream. Though once a staple during festive holidays like Easter and a showpiece in buffet spreads, their traditional charm has been overshadowed by more modern culinary trends.
I make these.
See, now I'm a fan of the what's the egg that you put the goop in the middle?
Deviled egg.
Deviled egg. I'm a fan of deviled eggs.
Yeah.
This would be interesting. I love the red around the outside.
Well, it's also pickled.
Oh.
If
You're changing the taste a lot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you could still take the yolks and mix it up with mayonnaise and
Yeah, I just had that over the weekend. That's
Yeah.
what, that's why I look at that and go, "Ooh, that looked good."
I do
It's
like them.
it's pretty.
It is
Vienna
pretty.
sausages, those little canned sausages, made a splash in the U.S. after being developed in Europe. They're soft, mildly salty, and come packed in broth, perfect for quick snacks or simple meals like stews and casseroles. They caught on thanks to their convenience and the fact that they could sit on a shelf forever, becoming a post-war pantry staple.
Which
However,
they did.
their popularity has dipped due to growing skepticism about canned meats and increasing health consciousness among consumers,
Good
who
point.
now often opt for fresher, less processed meat options. While they might not be the go-to they once were, Vienna sausages still have their fans, particularly in areas like the South, where they're often featured in traditional recipes.
I keep a couple of cans in my fridge as a
What
snack.
do you do with them? Just
I eat them cold out of the can.
Ew.
can?
Yeah.
What isn't
My
that?
kids used to eat them when they
Isn't
were
that the
little.
same as the little mini hot dogs?
No. Different texture, different flavor.
Can you get now? This looked like some of those were wrapped up in something. So pigs in a blanket. Is that what we're talking
I
about?
have no idea.
I didn't catch that.
Pigs in a blanket.
Yeah. I didn't see them wrapping them up in
Well, they didn't wrap them up. They were wrapped up,
Oh, okay.
which means we're not wrapped too tight. But that's a whole different thing.
I'm not saying a word.
Deviled ham spread began gracing American tables in the late 19th century. A concoction of finely chopped or ground ham mixed with spices and mustard, bound together by mayonnaise. This spicy, savory spread quickly became a favorite for its convenience and long shelf life, ideal for quick sandwiches, pastry fillings, or as a simple dip. However, as dining trends shifted towards more authentic flavors, deviled ham spread's appeal waned. The modern diner often looks for options with less sodium and fewer additives, steering clear of heavily processed foods. Originally a staple for easy meal prep and perfect for on-the-go eating, deviled ham spread was heavily marketed for its versatility and unique taste, though it has struggled to maintain its prominence in a market that now favors freshness and flavor complexity.
I'd forgotten all about deviled ham.
See, now as a kid, what scared me away from that was the little devil
The devil.
character on the can.
Yeah,
I
I
was,
remember. I
can't
remember
be
that when
any
I was
good.
younger. Yeah,
That can't be any
Yeah.
good.
But you know, Easter time, Christmas time, the hams go on sale at the market, and I don't celebrate the holidays, but hey, it's on sale, so I'll get one of the hams, and you know, all you need is a good knife to coarsely chop things down in a food processor, and you can make that at home.
Well,
I do.
I did do a pickled ham that I really like. You just chop it up and put pickles in it. Relish, I use relish.
I don't know if you
Love
noticed
that.
one of the scenes in that little clip was a tomato sliced in quarters, but it wasn't sliced all the way through, so it kind of spread out a little, and they had deviled ham tucked in that.
Well, guess what?
That looked kind of good.
They put even more than deviled ham into them.
I did
Tomato
like
Surprise
tomato
once
ham.
captivated the culinary scene with its inventive approach. Tomatoes hollowed out and filled with everything from tuna to chicken salad or rice blends, served up chilled. This dish thrived in the 50s and 60s, where
Remember that
home
one?
parties loved the visual appeal and refreshing taste it offered. The tomatoes had to be just the right firmness to cup creamy interiors that contrasted beautifully with their acidic walls. However, as diners began to favor dishes that showcased natural flavors without the frills, Tomato Surprise saw a decrease in popularity.
Tomato
The
surprise.
culinary scene began to
Surprise!
value ingredient transparency over novelty, causing dishes like Tomato Surprise, which relied on a gimmick of hidden contents, to fall out of favor in favor of more straightforward and ingredient-focused dishes. Ham and
That's frightening. Tomato surprise.
I never had it.
Anything surprise that you're supposed to eat is a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said 50s and 60s. Do you recall?
I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really don't.
No, from an Italian household, anything tomato was okay. As long as there's tomatoes involved, you're good. Is tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
It's a fruit.
Fruit,
Okay, good.
because its seeds are inside.
All right, is a squash a tomato? Is a squash a fruit or a vegetable?
I would say it's a fruit because a pumpkin is a fruit. And that's the squash family. What do you say?
Yeah, the seeds are on the inside.
It's a fruit. The only fruit that has seeds on the outside is the strawberry. Potatoes are vegetables because they're a root. Spinach is a vegetable because it's a leaf. Anything that comes from a flower and has seeds inside is a fruit. So squash comes from a flower.
What was
Cucumber
she
comes
said?
From a flower.
If it comes from a flower, it's a fruit. That
Yes.
one, I like.
Yes.
Okay,
Now, this one's creepy.
thank you, farmer.
Ham and banana hollandaise.
Banana Hollandaise is a curious creation from the 1950s, featuring thinly sliced ham wrapped around bananas, all smothered in a rich hollandaise sauce and baked. This combination of salty ham with sweet bananas, united under a creamy sauce, was initially a hit for those looking to experiment with bold, unconventional flavors.
I guess.
Despite the initial curiosity it sparked, the enthusiasm dwindled. Preferences leaned towards simpler and lighter fare. The culinary landscape evolved with a growing distaste for combining heavy, rich sauces with sweet elements in savory dishes. This trend saw ham and banana hollandaise move from a novel main course to a rarely seen dish, as the palate of the time grew to favor more cohesive and traditional flavor pairings.
I
seen
don't
it?
think that's it.
We all have the same look on our face.
Never seen it, never heard of it, never had it.
Never won it.
That must be a
You've
regional
never heard
thing.
of it.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Pete, have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
Yeah.
The only thing I saw Chiquita bananas was it was on somebody's head in the 50s. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't know where I'm at with this. I'm an adventurous eater, and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, no.
I can't grasp the banana with the hollandaise.
I can grasp that, but I can't grasp it with the ham. Ham goes good with the hollandaise. I can see how a banana would, but I can't see the ham with the banana.
It's a hamnana.
I don't think people's tastes is why it died out.
There's something about how your food looks before you eat it that makes it appetizing.
Let's go back to the tomato surprise. I would take that. I would take that first. I don't remember this. Honestly, I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, I'm having fun going through these. I'm going to find some more of these films to just go through because I think it's fun looking
It's
at this stuff.
entertaining.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's nostalgic because of some of it. The deviled ham thing, I'd forgotten, long ago fell out of my head.
And I think with me being a foodie and having food things happen on the show, I think this is going to be I think we're going to do this more often.
This is a regular thing.
Yeah, I think I like this.
Shrimp Wiggle brought together shrimp and
Wiggle?
sweet peas
Never heard of this
in a
one.
comforting white sauce, traditionally served over toast or pasta. This dish was a staple in the Northeast.
Looks like SOS,
celebrated
but
for
with
its
shrimp.
simplicity and the delightful interplay of seafood sweetness with creamy sauce. Despite its long-standing popularity, Shrimp Wiggle's appeal began to diminish as newer generations of diners sought out dishes that highlighted seafood in its most natural state, moving away from the heavy, cream-laden preparations of the past.
Yeah.
The growing preference for seafood dishes that emphasize the freshness and quality of the ingredients, such as grilled or sautéed preparations, contributed to the decline in popularity of more traditional, sauce-heavy dishes like Shrimp Wiggle. Banana?
No.
Again, we were
It's sort
far
of like-
healthier back then, though.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like a Newburg. It's sort of like a shrimp
Newburg?
Newburg. Yeah.
It
That was
looked
a
like-
shrimp in a creamy sauce.
I think when you said it, it looked like seafood SOS.
Yeah,
is.
SOS, but with shrimp.
That's basically what
But
a
shrimp
Newburg
wiggle?
is.
Like
I've
what?
never
Are they
heard the
not
term
quite dead
wiggle.
yet?
I've never heard the term wiggle.
No, I
but
haven't either.
my mother had made something when we had a lot of company, because we used to have a lot of company when we were kids, and she was a great cook. God, I did not inherit her talent, but she was fabulous. But you're right, Peter. And that's when you needed to know how to cook. She would smell the roast and know if it was done right or not. She would just sit there and go, nope, not yet, couple more. And she was right every time.
What was your favorite thing that your mom baked or cooked for
My
you?
mother used to fry our own donuts
Oh,
in a deep fryer. And
We
my
did
God,
galumpkies.
so good.
okay.
Or galettes. It was
Galettes?
French version of fried dough.
But those were
Oh,
good.
okay. What about you, Ken?
Yeah. Something your mom made that you really liked.
There was an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre that was made with Pepperidge Farm bread, cream cheese, and bacon, and then it was broiled. And it was really good. That and the other thing was porcupine balls, which was meatballs with rice sticking out of it and a brown gravy.
That sounds
That's
good.
to make the beat go further.
Yeah.
See, mine was.
Those are cost-efficient dishes.
Oh, we had a lot of those in the
Yeah.
50s and 60s.
We're getting back to them now.
Yeah.
Italian bread, and I still smell that. If I would go into a bakery or something, yeah, and my mom would make that from scratch, and I remember, she'd have it rising on
they
the
cover
counter.
it with a dish towel.
Yes,
With a wet dish
and then
towel.
put it in the oven. And when one of those big loaves, and it would be as long as this table, and I would take one of those, just break off half of it, and I'd disappear with it, and I'm good,
Yeah.
Oh, banana meatloaf?
Meatloaf emerged as an adventurous twist on
meatloaf.
traditional meatloaf by incorporating mashed bananas to add sweetness and moisture.
No! Don't do that to my loaf.
Flavors and textures. Interestingly, the addition of bananas also helped the meatloaf retain moisture during cooking.
So it was moist.
A tender and flavorful dish.
I use
However,
oregano.
as culinary preferences matured,
Moisture.
the novelty of mixing fruit with savory meat lost its allure.
Thank God.
Diners increasingly favored classic, unadulterated flavors in their meat dishes, preferring the familiar savory profiles over the sweet complexity introduced by bananas. This preference for traditional tastes led to a decrease in the popularity of such experimental dishes, as they no longer align with the prevailing culinary values that cherish the natural flavors of the primary ingredients without the addition of fruits or sweeteners.
It doesn't even look good.
No, and I love bananas.
Banana
I really
loaf.
do love bananas.
Banana
but-
bread is good.
You know, I've
but
put-
don't put it in my meatloaf.
I've put regular bread in the meatloaf.
Yes,
I don't
do
think
too.
I'd put banana bread in it, though.
Maybe there's your compromise.
I don't know.
I put regular bread. I've even tried putting croutons in the bread just to see if it would spice it up a little. I mean, in the
I've even seen pimientos in the meatloaf.
pimientos.
Here's something you must have had experience with back in the 50s.
Egg salad in aspic was once a highlight of buffets and luncheons,
Buffets?
combining creamy egg
Buffets.
salad with taste in a clear, savory gelatin. It was prized for both its aesthetic appeal and practicality at social gatherings.
No.
However, the fascination with gelatin-based dishes waned as culinary trends began to eschew complex, molded presentations in favor of simpler, more natural presentations. The move away from
that looks
foods
awesome.
molded and shaped reflects a broader culinary shift that places
can't
a
even
premium
look
on
at it.
authenticity and minimal manipulation of ingredients.
Oh, that's gross.
Shrimp and
That's
hard-boiled eggs and aspic.
What was what was that round thing that we used to put? It was a Jello mold, right?
Yes,
the big
yeah,
round
Jell-O.
Jello mold with a hole in the middle.
Yep.
And we would put so red Jello with and they'd flip it upside down like that. And fill the middle with whipped cream or something like
Yeah,
that.
and they'd put fruits and stuff in it.
Okay,
That was
that
good.
worked. But this thing here, it's clear gelatin with all kinds of.
No.
That's basically how head cheese is made.
Oh, okay, that's a good.
You have cheek, you have lung, you have heart, and it's all chopped up in bits and pieces and put into like
It's like
aspic.
haggis.
Only head cheese is good. Because I've had haggis. It's an acquired taste.
I've had neither, and just like liver, I
Okay,
don't need it.
I was responding to an email. I just looked up. That Jello mold looks gnarly.
Yep,
And
that's
you're
a good
being
description.
kind.
Straight up gnarly.
And you're being kind, yes.
Yeah, that's
Oh God.
wow.
That's like all kinds of disgusting.
I think I have one more on
Change in
here.
dining preferences led to the decline of dishes like egg salad in aspic, as modern diners came to prefer salads and
Oh, maybe this is the last one.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at that. Oh my! And you know what? Those eggs are undercooked. If you're trying to get a hard-boiled egg there,
They look it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the other good description.
gelatin casings.
The liver's.
Or you know what happened? The
Good.
gelatin got into the egg and started to re-gelatinize
All right,
it.
I'm done on the computer in there.
I think
Pete.
the egg started gelatinizing again in the thing there.
Oh man,
All right.
for those of you that hadn't been watching this on television, boy, did you miss a treat.
You missed something. I don't know if it was a treat. The only treat was the San Francisco treat. And nowadays, that'll get you a mugging on the side if you go to actually eat in San Francisco.
Find that jingle.
Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
All right, good enough.
You're gonna have the ding. You're gonna have the ding ding thing.
Well, you ding and I'll sing.
Well, let's. All right,
Come
never
on,
mind.
do
Let's
your
not
roll
go there.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Do your role here. Everybody needs a cue.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on.
Do you? Do you?
I don't know why, but I'm going to thank you
This
anyway.
is a 2-hour time suck you're never going to get back.
By the way, Ken, are we getting up for Polaris Dawn
What?
launch?
You know what? It's been scrubbed so many times, I'm not going to bother waking up. I'll just watch the footage later on.
I was thinking about coming in and do a live show.
Yeah.
That's a big history-making event.
Yeah, but it's a rocket we're
First-
used to seeing launch.
First commercial spacewalk in space history.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're
you
going
can
on
tell
to
there's
the-
lots of excitement in this room.
No, it's been every time I go to watch it, it's scrubbed. I mean,
Well, stop watching it and it'll take off.
well, that's
it's
the
kind
thing.
of like you're
It's
putting your raincoat in
Yeah,
the
it's like
truck.
2:30 in the morning, right, Pete?
3:30.
Yeah, 3:30. Yeah, hard pass.
3:30.
Well, it's the reason they're launching so early in the mornings is because the orbit they're trying to achieve.
Right. What kind of window is that one?
Till 7:09 a.m.
Okay. Ain't bad. I'm still not doing it.
Looks like you're on your own, kid.
Okay, so 2 weeks from now, it will be a best of because both Peter and myself are going to be out of town. Next week, we're either going to do Kathy's Corner if she can get somebody in here. If not, we're going to be doing a review of some monologues and rants because Peter was missing mine today. So
A
I'll make
review
up
or
for it
a
next week.
rebuke?
Oh, no, the
Good
first one.
point. Good point.
Yeah. So next week we'll be on, and then the following week, Pete will pick something good because I think you'll be remoting in to do that. Seeing I'll be in Vegas and I'll still be out at a club at that time because it's 4 hours, Jay.
3.
That's right. They
Yeah, I
don't
think we
do-
can. I think I can do that. I'll be on the road heading towards the airport, but yeah,
Yeah. You don't want me. Let's see, at 6 a.m. Vegas time. That'll be 5, 4, 3. You don't want me trying to remote in, trying to do anything. I'd be trying to figure it out on my phone.
If he can't figure out how to get in, you don't want him if he does.
All right, Jay, thanks for hanging out with us,
That's fun. Thank you.
and we'll do this food thing again soon.
It was fun. Thank you very much for bringing those in. Those were good. Those
All right,
were good ones.
All right, catch you next time.